Did say that we were kind of under a quarantine and they're holding back this energy and they can't do it anymore, the galactics.
Yeah, it's growing in intensity, and so the shields that they've had up to protect us from these waves or to unify the energy before it hits us is kind of not upholding anymore. And so I've talked about this. Many other people have talked about this big wave coming, and the way that the galactics have explained it to me is that essentially our sun is dying and a new sun is taking its place. And so we're having these break-offs of waves that are enveloping not only our planet but other planets in the solar system. And so they've been attempting to block some of those to help us, because every time one of these hits, everybody gets kind of out of sorts. So even if you're not aware of what's going on, you're still going to feel stuff. And what it does is it amplifies whatever you're feeling. So if you're in an irritated mood or you're agitated, it's going to amplify that. If you're angry, it's going to amplify that. If you're walking on sunshine, you're going to feel amazing. And so these waves are hitting and they're growing in intensity. And eventually there will be a massive one that hits. And they told me that a big one was coming within 6 months. They said that back in November. We're expecting something in May to happen. And they also said that there would be waves coming in between that were really large, that were bigger every single time. And it's kind of good, though, because it gives us an opportunity to learn how to ride the wave before we get hit with this massive one. Because essentially what it's going to do, as they've described it to me, is it puts you into like a midlife life review, the same kind of thing that you would do when you cross over to the other side. And it's because the veil of illusion has been removed. So you have to kind of face yourself honestly. And so they're encouraging us to have our emotional bodies in order, to let go as much as we can, work through as much personal stuff as we can, so that when it actually hits, that we're not, taken down by it, or just like, down in the dumps with this wave. So, and that's happening too. A lot of people are reaching out because they're depressed, they're suicidal, they just want to give up. They don't understand why they're here. They don't want to fight anymore. They just want to get out of this place. And so the waves are intensifying that thought pattern. And so if we can rise above it before the wave hits us, then it's better. It's going to be better for us.
Yeah. So this big wave, this will be the event that we were kind of promised a year ago. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
It was a accurate read, but time is very difficult to pin down with these other dimensional
and it's important,
realities.
And it's important to note that these waves have been coming, and they've been bigger every single time. So the one that hit last March that a lot of people predicted was a massive wave that hit us. It just wasn't the biggest one.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see that iridescence. We're supposed to see an iridescence, like bubble-like texture come throughout the horizon. Some people claim they did see it, but I felt something that day, that I think it was March 18th-ish, around there. I did feel something that day, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, there was definitely a huge energy wave that hit us then, and there have been more ever since. I mean, you can kind of feel them happening. People start to get really squirrely, and they kind of feel like something's going on, and then they reach out.
Well, the galactics definitely said the big one will be very visible.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I've seen, they showed me what it looked like. It was kind of like a big wave that was kind of iridescent, and that was enveloping the planet and kind of running through it, kind of like a tube torus. So it would hit all of us. But they said that, it might cause some issues with our electronic devices, but that mostly it would be beneficial, because it would push us into a higher level of consciousness.